Hey everybody, this is the professor with Day Trading for Success. So every morning I stream live and you can trade along with me for free. I'm about to go into details about the strategy I'm trading this month, the challenge, and then you'll see some live streaming on this video. So stick around, should be fun.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success. Every morning join the professor, a former math teacher turned pro trader, and watch him trade live for free, sharing proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor is not a licensed financial advisor. Consult a licensed financial advisor before following any demonstrations you see here. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss a live session.
Hey, so welcome back everybody. So I'm going to be editing the stream that I just did this morning, so you won't have to wait through the whole thing. But remember, you can go down to the chapters where you're going to have an intro, and then you're going to go into this strategy, which I'm about to show you now. And then you can click right over to the live trading if you want to see. So what we're on a challenging this month is we're trying to make a minimum of $150 to $500 a day. I try to get to the 150 in the live streaming, which is running just about a half hour to 45 minutes. And then I give you the update, how I did on TraderView. Everybody wants to see exactly how that pans out. So I show that at the beginning of every video on the next day. And I usually make it to my 500 trading this particular strategy, but I often trade other sessions with other traders throughout the day. But this is for this particular strategy for day trading for success. So let me get into showing you what that strategy is. So what we're trading is a large cap or mega cap retracement strategy. So we're looking for stocks that consolidate between a range, your high and your low range, floor, ceiling. And we're looking to go up off the floor and go short off the ceiling. And we try to tighten those channels with historical data levels. So what is historical data? It's where the price action has stopped and abruptly turned around, usually marked with candlestick patterns. Sometimes people use different things, but that's typically how it's done. So I'm going to break into how I actually mark that for this particular strategy, which is based on Day Trading Volume 1, a book, which I have a link to. In fact, I have a link to my 6 favorite books. You might want to check them out because they would really help your trading, I think. Different authors. This is a 5-minute, 10-day chart that I'm going to maximize. And then I'm going to auto zoom in here so we can go back and you see the low, and now I'm going to try to find the high. Here's the high. So this is the high and low from the last 10 days. Now this strategy is based on a lot of back testing. So we're going to mark a Fibonacci level. So I click the high and I drag your Fibonacci retracements down to the low, right? And I've marked our first historical data levels. Now this can be done low to high depending on the price action, but it's always left to right. And what we're creating here is support and resistance levels. As you can see, it made a channel right here, even though I marked it on these two before and after, it respected that channel. And as we move on, it respected the next channel, right? So right here. And then as we move on, it made another channel, and it kind of stayed in this zone here. See how it's, so now we're going to break that down a little bit tighter, right? Because that's a pretty big channel, $218 up to $223 just for that one channel. How would we do something like that? Well, you go back to the Fibonacci again, and you go to a 5-minute 2-day. So this is just 2 days back, right? Well, I'll auto zoom. And now we're going to do it again. So we're going to go ahead and mark it. Now this is a slow moving stock, and I'll talk to you about the scanners that I have coded to help with this strategy. Well, for that matter, any strategy, right? But let's get these marked first. I'm going to make that a different color. Now, if you just want to get to the trading, you can just go into the timestamps and zip right by here. So now we have more historical data. So let's get a look at that as we come back to the 10-minute here. To the 10-day. So now this is where our price action is right now, today. This is a live open session today. And you can see, how these levels get respected time and time again. And now this is on a 5-minute chart too, so we're going to actually trade on a 1-minute chart. But we're not done yet creating historical data. That is the oldest historical data there could be. This is the mother of all historical data, the Fibonacci levels from way back centuries ago, right? Now we want to see other areas where the price action has abruptly turned around, okay? And we want to mark those levels. Now they may not be respected, but they may. And the Fibonacci has already picked up a lot here. So really the only other potential area within our price range so that we can trade it for today is right here. I'm going to look back a little further. This is kind of too low. I'll go ahead and mark that level. I won't zoom in on it, but I'll mark that level. You can see it didn't respect it. It blew right by it here. So already not a level we'd probably want to watch. And it actually is in the area of where we're trading. So, but Fib's going to pick it up. So I'm just going to get rid of it because it's just more complicated areas there. So, but here and here are areas where we might want to mark some of the data where the price action abruptly turned around. So let's take a look here and see where we're at. So I would definitely pick up this level and mark that. I don't know if it's going to come into play. The strategy doesn't hold the post-market or pre-market as respectable, but if you can smooth it across by marking a level here that it turned around, and then if it stops in those places elsewhere, you might want to do it just like in trend lines. You're looking for multiple taps. See how the open was here and then it came back and retested it, but look, it's picked up by this fib level. So we don't need to mark it. It's picked up right there. Then we see it turned around right here. And if you look at that, it actually did pick it up right there. And then let's just zoom in a little bit more. I don't see anything else here worthy. And as we go over here, this area here picked up a bunch. Let me see if I look at the line across, if it's gonna, it does look like it hit it multiple times all the way over to here. So I'll make a note of that level as well. And that's about all we do to mark the levels. Okay, now we're ready to trade this stock. And where do we trade it? We trade it on the 1-minute chart, which is right here. So all that big mess isn't a big mess anymore because you're zoomed way in and you're looking for the levels. Now the other thing that's marked, by the way, that's a 50 moving average daily. It's on my setup here. So that's on a daily. So when you see that over 50 days on a 1-minute chart, you should respect it, right? And then there's a lot of custom coded indicators here that are used at prop firms. That, I'm a coder for Thinkorswim ThinkScript, and I do a lot of the codes for Thinkorswim, and these are highly respected codes by prop firms, and I have them here for you guys to see, and there's a link if you want to go get them yourself. So something as simple as marking every whole and half dollar. So you can see this is out of the price range because I had it marked for Tesla. So you can go in this gear wheel here. We know this is marked, this price is at 220. So I just put in 220. Now it's going to do every whole and half dollar over a $10 period. So it'll be marked perfectly in there. But the ATR range are marked here too. Now, if you don't know what ATR range is, you maybe go to ChatGPT. I have a lot of videos about them. But basically, on the RV strategy, you're marking half of the ATR you expect, the average true range of the stock over a 14-day period, smoothed. Half of it, you're expecting it to go up or down, and then the whole amount is up here. You expect it to go up or down, marked in between these different fib levels. Let's zoom into this big mess, and you'll see how this can be traded to the utmost efficiency and how come people are making lots and lots of money trading this type of scalping. This is a scalping strategy, so I'm going to zoom in on this block of channeling. Zoom in. Now you have here the market magnet, which is very important too. So keep an eye on how to use that. That's based specifically coded for large and mid cap. These arrows are, large and mega cap. These arrows are showing you the 50% range where you should expect this price action to often turn around and look how well it was respected. Now that it's broken down, it's trending. There's a trending indicator over here. This is showing you every 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour chart what they're seeing, long or short, based on their candlestick color. This is the market pulse right there, which is showing you the QQQ, the SPY. They're both green. And then there's the bonds, and then UVXY is the fear. Having this on a chart really tells you the sentiment of the whole market or that particular stock. Again, just amazing things to have if you're going to scalp at your fingertips. The advantage that prop firms have, they have it here on, this is set up on a 15-minute chart and a 5-minute chart, giving you the overall, bias of the market and the stock you're trading. This is the risk oscillator, which is amazing. It gives you the target. You should expect it to go up or down in a 1-minute time increment by averaging the last 9 minutes. Incredible for handling your risk and getting out maybe just before it hits that level. So you're basically going for maybe a 6-cent move up and a 10-cent move down and just take your profit and get out. So if you were to look at these trades, you would just look at this stock right here, and I'll try to take a trade for you here. So what's the price of this? I think based on this price, if you had the PDT, you could at least do 100 shares. So I'm going to look at this level 2 as well, just to see what our price action is. See, Amazon's really slow. So if I take a trade, we might be stuck watching it for a second, but I'll go ahead and do it. Down here is the scalping, the pro meter, which is incredible because it shows you inside the candlestick. So that's momentum going up. It's showing you that, okay? So when it turns blue, that means the volume has surpassed the last candle's volume. But you're below the VWAP and the 14 EMA crossover, so you got to keep that in mind. Then you look at what's happening inside. The sellers actually took over that volume. So that's why you'd want to watch that more closely. And then as we got down lower down here, I probably would have entered into a trade if I was watching and gone long off that dip. That's the buy-sell oscillator. That's based on the relative strength index telling you it's oversold, turn around now. Amazing indicators, guys. The MACD up here, rather than having a histogram down here, this literally just tells you go down, right? It's at the top, go down. Of course, it went down and then opened way over here and it came back up. So, there's just, and this is the momentum indicator, which is giving you the strength of the momentum. It's particularly good for people that buy high and sell higher to have an indicator like that, or very good at the open. And then down here's the news, and of course the level 2. And then on the day chart here, which we use a lot too, you have your ATR highs and lows. This is a free indicator you can get over at the $1 Million Margin Club. You should get it. That's going to tell you what the average volume is in a 1-minute candle over a 10-day period, or average over a 1-day period. I usually like to have it over 100,000 per 1-minute increment to trade it. This is going to tell you how much capital you're using to make sure that you don't get stuck in a margin call or you're over margining. So this is all custom that is used in prop firms, some for trading, some just for training, some just to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and go in there off that level, and you can see it's so slow that it just barely picked up my my position there. I'm not used to that happening. I would have already had a winning trade, so that's kind of annoying. So we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll just flatten out of that position. So we're back to 100 shares. Now, I really wanted to get in that for sure, I went to a short there. I could have sold the bid. It's still high enough to do it. So I think I will go ahead and sell the bid there. I'm going to take a short off this Fibonacci level and show you why I think these levels should be respected. See how much it respected it here? So another place I might look, there's a tweezer move. So I would look to that as maybe a fail-safe, or to maybe add to my position as it swung back my way. So I'm looking for this to continue to go short. I didn't check to see if I should be long or short buy. So I didn't do my due diligence here. I'm just reading off the indicators and the levels to just see if I can make a few bucks. It's so slow, though. I would normally not trade this. I'd be out of my trade by now. You know what I mean? So you want it to move a little bit quicker than what it's doing. There's something decent, even though it's against me. I like to see that it has the potential of, giving a loss like that. because that means it also has the potential of doing a good trade for me. So the buyers did take over on this scalping indicator, a little scary. It's more long bias going up, right? Target down is much less. As it swings back down, if it came up, I might tend to go to half of my share size. This is only 25% of what I would have entered in my share size, right? And it looks like it's just resting on this fib, not making a decision. But I would call it to go down based on look at the Scalp Pro meter here, 100% going down. So let's take a small trade there, and I made $4. Basically, I just wanted to show you just by following these indicators. Now, if this trade were to continue to go against me, I would have held it here for sure, all right, and then assessed. Look, I'm $17 down, whatever here. What should I do on 100 shares, right? 17, 18, $19 down, really, right, if that was my position. And I would have said, well, I'm going to hold out, right, and as it went up, if it started to go back toward me and broke back through that level on that tweezer move, I would have added to my share size only when it's going my way, which is a risky way to trade, to add it all. But since I've only entered 25% of my position, now you'll see me stream doing this every single day and making the money every single day. I run it over a 90% accuracy. Sure, I have bad trades. I get bad trades, and sometimes I got to dig out, but when you follow support and resistance levels, when you follow $1.50 where the crowd trades, when you follow the indicators and you keep your losses to max loss, you're going to succeed. It takes a little time to read, and getting good at reading level 2 can help you too. But anyway, guys, I'm going to break right into the stream now. That remember, it is a little bit edited. I won't go into the whole setup, which I do every morning. I go through the stocks, I give the news, and that's between 9 and 9:30, and then I start trading. This is going to pick it up right at 9:30. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and be careful out there. I'll see you soon. And I may hold into the move. I may hold a little longer because of the long bias here. But what happens if it spikes down? At least it won't pick me up. Unless it picks me up, then spikes down. There we go. So now it's tempting to go short off of that level. But there's the buy-sell oscillator saying no. A market magnet, I would worry about trusting it to a little deeper in. There's the momentum kicking off. I put that new indicator in, and it is useful in the opening here. So, and we'll get to the consolidation as we move on here this morning. Some of the stuff I'm talking about doing next month is starting later so that we can really do the consolidation strategy. It's really hard in that first half hour. So nothing. We got nothing. Anticlimactic here. Really hasn't even dropped $1 off of its open. Let me see what's going on. Tesla's, hood's going up. AMD looks like it's going down. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird market action. See, this is the problem with mixed reports from the White House. It's like stuff that should work just doesn't work anymore. Wow. So in a bit, I'm going to get rid of that, but I'll hold it for now. Wait for the turnaround and see if it picks it up. And then it might really take off, I guess my first thought would be at the ATR could be a profit-taking spot, which would only be, I'd be over $1 up, right? Yeah. What have we got that at? 183.30. Yeah, that's almost $1 up. So that would be a good trade if we got out at the ATR and didn't get over greedy if it happens to pick it up. Right now, it's not showing signs of that. So I'm just going to hold it on the ladder. Stuff's shaking out now. So this is a story. He's tried to slow Chinese development. He may have hurt NVIDIA instead. So the market is emotional, guys. Trade with the crowd. You can see the whole and half dollar lines have opened up here, which are really handy to have. So, wow, it's going down today. I'm glad I didn't just jump in long. It's a little too soon to tell if it's certainly too soon to tell if that's the bias, but it is surprising that it's that far, going that far down. I mean, that for this long, many minutes. You know, this is the 4th minute now. A lot of people read that news is totally going to go short today. You know, everybody has their opinion. And it won't let me grab it. I'm trying to pull this 15-minute chart up, and it won't let me grab. I've gone too low. Here we go. Is it going to be our turnaround, or is it just going to be a boring stock to watch? I got a lot of levels marked here. Some of you that don't understand the strategy are like, what are you doing? Well, clearly, this level, well, I don't know. I was going to say this level it kind of respected, but this one it did nothing with, unless it stops here. Yeah, this is so, I'm going to get rid of this one. It's so close to the fib, too. Just, it's going to consolidate right here and just do nothing. So we'll have to, this is what I end up doing a lot when we get together and trade right at the open, and that's why I want to trade a little later, because really, like the RV strategy in day trading volume 1, it's, you need to wait for the consolidation channels to form. This is too soon to even call that, but it might be where it ends up between the fib and this $0.25. You know, with the half dollar being a sort of a fail-safe level. But yeah, it's getting to be, what's the point on this, holding this trade, you know? So that's at 83.30. Oh, so that's quite a ways up there. Yeah, I have it up there because that would signify the breakout for an upward trend. So that's what the book talks about and why you wait for the breakout. You don't trade in between. This would have been a go short, and you would have already taken your profit probably at this fib level. So you would have, if you followed the strategy just to show you how it would have worked for you, 82.40 down to 81.80. You would have got, you know, almost 60 cents on that move, just by following the strategy on that fib, right? Then you go in again here off the fib, and you would have got it either on the half dollar or the whole dollar. 2 winning trades right here. This one, you have to be breaking the next level, and it has to be a red candle, so you wouldn't have taken that trade. This one, you could have taken the trade on the upswing and gotten out here. This one would have been potentially, no, because you've entered here. So yeah. This one would have been a winning trade, so you would have had one sort of maybe not a trade and 3 winning trades as you trade the open strategy, just so you know. So you should, if you don't have that book already. But yeah, clearly this is not, I'm not going to hold this for a breakout in 15 minutes from now, so I'm going to just get rid of it. I'm out of that order. And I've lost confidence in trying to figure out what these things are going to do, frankly. Let me see if I can grab this down here. It's not going to let me grab it. Seriously? I guess I don't need it that bad. I could open another one and just get rid of that. There's probably a really easy way to fix this that I'm not focusing on right now. But let's take a look at some of the others. So Hood was one of the ones that was a possibility today. It went straight up. For those of you trading Hood, you're very happy right now if you jumped on that move. Let's see what that looks like. I'd like to have it biased but consolidating. So let's look to see if it is consolidating here for us at all. So on this one, you can go up to 200 shares on your opening trade if you're staying within. So we've got an ATR right here, which is great for a floor. So I like that. Even dollar just broke right down here. I don't know how strong I should take that, how much stock I should take in that 117.42 level. Right there. That's a pretty good looking level actually, guys, to go short off of. So, but I want to play it long biased, so I'm going to take a trade here and see if it gives me an opportunity. I'll try this one out. 200 shares. Long biased on this. We don't have enough confirmation of anything yet. So we're about to enter the 11th minute. This is the 10-minute mark right here. 5 minutes are seeing, everybody's seeing green. There you go. So maybe we can take a dip here off this as it goes down. Yeah, and I'm forcing a trade right now. It's just not enough consolidating action for me to take a trade here. So for your safety and mine, we are waiting. Target going up is 39. Target going down is 21. I would definitely take a long off the ATR. But it may not get that far. I'm looking at this action right now, and it's not, well, that's not bad. It's at least 10 cents, every 1 or 2 seconds. So that's not bad. That's $20 on 200 shares. Wow. So now it could just keep going down. So I'm definitely taking a chance here as it hits the even dollar mark, or the 40 cent. Below that is the 40 cent is the ATR. Oh, looks like it's not going to complete its move down. It's going to stop above the ATR. So I'm looking near that ATR. I'm biding my time. Get it closer to the ATR level, or at least the $0.50 right above it. It keeps giving me a chance to get out if I got in without even waiting for it to see if it turns around. Missed it. Waited too long. But this is a good sign to trade it consolidating it, It's a good sign the way it's moving. But I missed that move down there. It's made a nice tweezer move here. Almost got in, and I was just like, wait a little longer. So this is good, though. This is good retracement action. So let's see if we get it a short off this level up here, or the $0.50 perhaps. Again, I'm long biased, so I got to be careful. It could just take off here. Really wish I would have grabbed that down there. Next fib's way up there at 118.43, a whole $1 away. It stalls. If it stalls here again, it's really good news. Now remember, that was marked off of yesterday's level. Look, and it kept stopping there. Oh, there it goes. Hit it to 50 cent. Backed it off on the ask. Not the rap star. 50 cent. 50 cents. I'm just waiting it out for a better trade here. I don't want to get pushed into it because everybody's in a hurry. You know? All right, I would short off 118 now for a brief move. Keep looking here because you want it back and forth enough that if you've made a mistake, you can get out for 10, 15 bucks. It's giving you a chance, that it's like, okay, it is going to keep going long, but look, it retraced a second, get out, It's just a skill in scalping that you learn by watching the swale a little bit when you don't have the indicators. Now we do have the support and resistance levels, and the $1.50, but we're not getting. It's too early in the day to get some indicator action here. I don't want to chase it, so I'm not going to go long, even though I do think it could go. I just don't want to chase it. I want to get it on a dip and then go long. So how far did it dip before? That's 60 cents. That's 80 cents. That's a big position to have 200 shares in if it goes all the way back down. And then you got to make the call. Is it going to keep going? Is it going to bank off the ATR? So think about if it went against you before you take the trade. Like, just say in your mind, this is what's going to happen. Can I handle this? And if you can't, then wait. Wow, it's respecting that line, guys. So it had a breakout there. So that's yesterday's high pivot, or one of the pivots from yesterday that it tapped 3 or 4 times. So there's something at that 117.50 level that a lot of people are respecting. All right, I'm waiting for a bigger dip. I'm just going to be patient here. Play it long bias, look for a dip. Maybe the 117 might be the best I can hope for. Try to get it. It tagged it for $16.99. I tagged it for a second and then it didn't pick me up. So every second that it takes to get there is concerning, so I'm going to get out. Only because it could be really pounding by the time I get back there again and just fly right by it like that. There we go, 92. So that was a good trade for a second. It was like 30 bucks. I'm gonna hold it there for a minute for a swale up. It keeps showing that it's going to go up, so let's see. I don't know what would have happened if I just flattened or sold market, if it would have slipped enough to hurt me, actually be red, because I thought about it when I hit the 34, but it seemed like it was just going to fly right up, so I held it. We're at the magnet. There's some green. Look at that from the bottom. That's going to hit it. See it go? There it goes. So 2 seconds, I'm out. Go. Boom. There we go, 42 bucks. So that was good. So being patient there worked out. We got our first trade. I'm reassessing now. I would buy that dip again, guys, but of course we have to look at the overall data here and see. So it didn't make a bull flag. It broke halfway. Still the same good news on it. Still playing at long bias. We're at the magnet. Now you can start respecting this magnet for sure. Our 50% level's way down here, which you could test. It's also got an ATS. It's got a lot of stuff that stops it from going down. A lot of historical data. So now I'm keeping my share size low for everybody. Everybody should be able to trade this. This is only 25% of what you should be able to afford if you've made the PDT. So here's our multi-chart alignment here as well as here. Actually, I didn't realize I had it on this chart. I think I'm going to take it off of it. That's oh, I see. I picked the one that I don't want to take it down right now. I picked this one with the labels by mistake. Ooh, there we go. So that's, yeah, I'll try it. I got it there again. It's the same logic as before. It looked like it was going to retrace, and we got a quick little trade out of it. Not quite as confident this time, but should have been actually more confident because that's a reversal sign right there. I should have stuck in that trade a little longer, but oh well. I was looking at the stupid indicator that I had the wrong one, and I wasn't thinking about the move. So let's wait for a dip again. And, you know, I will take shorts, but I'm not as confident about them. So there's a lot of retracement that could happen here. So on this dip, I might wait a little longer because it keeps pounding here. See how many times it's hit it. So it might be a breakdown. So let's take a pause at doing the same trade over and over. Yeah, it got a little lower on us. So it hit that line. Let me take a look at that 81 level. So here's the 81 level. That level looks stronger, frankly. This is a little older, and it didn't really respect it much, so I'm not as thrilled about that level. Let's see what happens with it today. Well, it respected it for a second. So enough people have that level that, you know, but now it's starting to do a longer retracement. So we're going to wait this out just in case it goes all the way back and decides that it's not going to go long today. So we need it to pound a bit more. So that actually held it. Look at it, held it. Went a little further, but it held it. So we're trading the hood. Since it doesn't say Robin Hood, I always think of the milk, of course, but or ice cream. My downfall. Going to another outdoor concert this week, which should be fun. Okay, how low do I go here? There's the 50 cent. I wait for it to hit the, it's going to turn around this ATR. So I strongly believe I'm going to grab it there. So, and hope that it doesn't just dive on me here. Taking a smaller victory because of the way the level 2 is acting, which is a little not in my favor. If it picks me up. Swaling up. And boom. Nope. Oh, there we go. So it did stop at the ATR, but it showed signs of not stopping. So I got cold feet. Got another, okay trade. I'd like to see some of that so we can trust this. Hit it, turn around, and hit it, maybe go back up with it. Something's turning this around, yeah, so we got to be careful here. How are we doing elsewise? Oh, NVIDIA's still going down. So all the apparently the chip news isn't good the way it's being read. Apple's kind of staying steady on the Musk suing news. Amazon's gone down. That's a new one that hit the scanner up there. And Tesla has gone down too. So everything's kind of going down. Well, the market does show down on the market pulse. So you guys should get that if you don't have that. It tells you really quick without opening a zillion charts. So we have the buy-sell oscillator twice telling it to go back up. And down 116 would be the next spot to potentially take a swale up. Yeah, we have nothing else down there for a long time to support it. That ATR seems to be respecting it, man. That's the waive strategy ATR from Day Trading Volume 1, which is half of it computed based on the previous day's close. I'd like to see some retracement up now before we keep, kind of playing these levels. We need it to make sure it's consolidating and not just dropping straight down. I mean, I'm picking it up on the movement, which is great that it gives you a chance if you're wrong. But we really would, want it to play the channels correctly, not just fade off of each move. See how it's just stair-stepping down off of this level. We need to reconfirm the upper levels here, or I'm going to switch stocks here. So I'll give it another minute or two and see if it can get it up here to reconfirm something for us. It's holding strong at the ATR, but it could be about to be a breakdown. So, which means that I'm done with this stock if it breaks this level. For now, anyway. Here we go. Let's get some movement back up so people have some confidence. The buyers didn't even get to the top of the volume there. The sellers, even though it was less volume, told you that they were all confident in turning it around. Right here, we're almost even money here. Target's way longer short than long right now because of these big candles over the last 9 candles. See, this is breaking down. See that? Tried to go up, volume dropped, and it's going down instead. If it breaks that ATR, we are parting ways. I'm breaking up with Hood. Taking my ring back, which would be the plastic thing around the milk bottle cap. Yeah, if nothing else, it's getting kind of too boring to trade right here. So I would love to play this level if it showed me signs of, moving up at all here. But right now, it's like you're playing this level and you better be going short. And I'm like long bias, so I'm worried about changing my bias based on this very short-term move. No news stories since 7:30 a.m. Wow, it's just sitting here. There it goes. There's the breakdown. Yep, I knew it was going to happen. All right, guys, so I'm going to look for, let's take a look at Apple because that's actually going up. Now on Apple, it's only 100 shares max for the quarter position. Ooh, that looks good on the 5-minute. Let's see. Like it went down and retraced up. That's kind of the stuff we're looking for. Let's see how it looks on the 1-minute here. I see no levels here. I see ATR. Did we not set up? Yeah, there's a fib. Okay. We have no historical data here. That should have been marked. Okay. Let's mark that. This is really the only day. Let's get this right. Much smooth. Yeah, it's smooth from here and then smooth across there. Hit there again. That's kind of weak. No, that's pretty much it. Well, let's see. What did that do? Did it do anything? No. That's it for the historical data in this area. A little bit of something anyway, but not too much to go on. This is some good stuff here if we can get a hold of it. So that went from the $0.50 down to the whole dollar. Oh, let me get this down to 100 shares. So it's sticking around the 228 pretty consistently here. Now that is a evening star turning it around. Almost an abandoned baby. That's a pretty strong downward reversal, which it did already. That's in the candlestick pattern playbook, guys. It rates the pattern, so you should get it. I have a link to it. That's my favorite pattern book. Let me just see how this is moving. 6 cents, 8 cents. That's 10 cents. 10 cents, 12 cents. Okay, it's moving enough. It's not gonna. We're not gonna make as much money with only 100 shares, but you guys can trade whatever share. I'm trying to stick to the 25%. And there's the top of the market magnet. You can see the MACD, which is a great indicator as well. Sent it up, it went up, and then the buy-sell oscillator. Actually, that's the risk oscillator that sent it down. Yep. So let's see if we can get some support down at the 27.50. It breaks it down. So look at the 5-minute. We're kind of going down to the lower levels here to play it long. Wow, that stock is soaring after earnings. You're a momentum trader, you're on that one. You can get FOMO pretty easy, trading consolidation. The idea is that day by day, get that 100, 200, 400, 500. Before you know it, you have $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month just putting your hour and a half in, maybe 2 hours. Relaxing. Don't get over stressed about it. Keep to your daily routine. Exercising, meditation, whatever you do, and then enjoy your life because you're making enough. Like, particularly good strategy for people who have some money and they're retired and their Social Security, even with their wife, they're maybe making 4 to 5K, but they need 10, 12, or 15 to make it, or they're negative. Now they hopefully have long-term investments that are giving them some of that money. Wow, look at that. So that was an interesting looking breakdown to grab. I could have already got it and then I would have made the money. I'm going to actually go in it there. Did I get it? At 44, I tried. There it went. So risky because it is breaking down. So I'm hoping that it's just a dip and we're going to ride it up. So we're right here at the 20 level would have been sort of where that other level marked it. I kind of like to get a double digit up, but so $14, a baby move, but it's adding up. The way this is moving, it's going to be hard to make money. Hood was making us some big money faster, with the 200 shares. If I went over to Tesla, I could only go in at 50 shares, and I'm sure that's moving really fast. We might want to take a look at it so we can get to at least 150 in the time that I have with you guys. But if you're patient, you should have 100% accuracy, or at least pretty high. And then with 190 to 100% accuracy, the money will come. Just stick to your max loss, and then you will make that money. But I was saying, like, if you're on a fixed income, this is a fantastic strategy. If you can control yourself, keep your max loss. When you're adding in to 50% of your position, make sure that it's going back in your favor. You're not just adding in to make it get closer to the lower price action. You want it to be turning back around. That's when you add in, even when it's not as good as you could have got it on the dip. Now it's going your way. So it did respect that level again, guys. Look at that. So that's the risk oscillator. This is the buy-sell oscillator, both turning around. But the momentum just said go down, so that's not good. Sometimes these indicators will conflict. Let me get a look at this. I haven't really been close. Try to study the candle action here a little bit on the volume bars. Strongest is on the buy, but it shows more money on the sellers. Hitting the magnet now. That should be a floor. It should be some support there. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, there's the other level is kind of sticking around in between the two. Kind of right there at the 35-cent mark. Just as an intraday support level I just drew, which is, you just watch it and see. Maybe for some reason something's happening at this level, so go ahead and mark it just so you know it's there. But you can't count on it too much. You can't count on anything too much. So this is just falling off now. So the whole market's down. I mean, I didn't really call a bias on Apple. I originally didn't want to trade this because it was both ways. But it seems like everything's acting both ways right now. So Tesla is just going straight down. Surprising, huh? Again, this is not, I need this to retrace up in order to keep wanting to trade this. We need some channel movement. Ceilings, floors, ceilings, floors, ceilings, floors. Something we can grab onto. Or it's just a waste of time sitting here, Yeah, it's breaking down. Although this is coming in, we should pull the magnet up. Oh, it dropped off, but that was the previous price volume action coming in. Sometimes it just hits it. So it hit that same level again. No, I'm getting away from this stock. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Tesla. Wow. So I would say short biased because it told us that already, so that's great. Maybe going up against Apple and threatening antitrust lawsuits isn't a good move for you, Mr. Musk. Yeah, there it is right there. But it says it's rising, but it's not rising. That was prior to the market opening, 720, 721. So people took they were right in this area. People took profits, and now it's fading. So we've got to correct this even in $0.50. So you can get in and change this. Oops, not that. Oh, I don't want that either. Hang on a second. I did want this. So let's open that up. Our price actions at 335, call it. So at least now we have it. We have the whole and $0.50 levels to go by. So did I have nothing to mark this out on historical data-wise? Fibs picked them up. This is too weak. Can't pick that up. Okay, 50 shares. It's the max of the 25% for this price of a stock to be in your PDT. The fib has stopped it right now. MACD level, based on EMA crossovers, is what MACD is, convergence, divergence. It turned it around there too, or told you that it should turn around. And the buy-sell oscillator is based on the RSI, Relative Strength Index. We don't have that here, but the MACD is usually fairly well respected. A lot of people just have it set up at the bottom of their screen, like the graphic histogram of it. I find this is tightened for large caps. This is a custom script that I find very helpful. See how it just turned it around. But they're all made for short-term moves, short term. So I'm going to sell the ask on here if it gets near the 50 cents. Yeah, it did. So I'm going to go ahead and think that it's going to fade right back off again. There it goes. So we go. $19 first trade. So I know we broke 100. Now you could just keep trading this same type of strategy. I know I have nuances that a lot of you don't understand yet, but you'll start to pick it up. You just, keep your max share size down low and keep your max loss followed strictly that you will go no further. Is it going to turn around here? I don't think so. So I'm going to look for it. There it goes. That got me again. Could have got out for a little bit of money, but I was holding for a little bit bigger dip. 50 shares is tiny money here, but it could hurt me pretty fast, so you got to be careful. I don't like the price action. It's definitely going against me on the level 2 as well. So I'd like to get out of this trade on a dip. If I get it, I'm just gonna take a small amount of money if I have a chance. Yeah, the swale keeps stepping higher each time, which is not a good sign. We need a big dip. Somebody wants to turn this around, and they're not doing it. So this could be my first bad trade. Oh, I'm just going to try to get out there for like a buck. It didn't pick me up. There we go. I don't trust it. Yeah, there it goes back up. It was definitely swaling upward. So, now that I'm out, it feels safe to turn around. I don't know. So yeah, that would have been in a worse position here by 50 cents or something. So let's get another look at this and just see. Kept my 100% rating there with $1.50 or something. But now we're getting a couple. There's an Evening Star, Doji, Rickshaw Man. Okay, so that's a reversal sign. We came up to the 14. This is the 9 moving average. This is the 20 up here. So that level, 336, also the even dollar, could have been where it wanted to turn us around. So let's see if that's what's going to happen here. I'm not going to jump on a falling knife, though. I'm going to just trade the same way I've been trading here. Short bias, so a little terrified of going long. Short bias. Now, I'm in a mentality of doing very short scalps. This is not an RV strategy mentality where I hit a reverse, make big money. It's a different strategy, guys. I keep getting like, why aren't you trading the way you trade with the RV? It's a different strategy. Learning how to do short-term scalps is the key to everything. Once you can do this, you can trade any strategy. So 335, let's just make sure I'm just going to mark a level there for a possible buy on a dip. But I worry about going long still. I'd be more inclined to go short off a level up here. It is trying to turn it around, though. That fib's hitting it. I don't think we've made our 150 yet, but we could be close. Let's see, what were the other stocks? Did we trade? We traded Hood. So we have 20 plus 85, so that's 105. Amazon, that's 119. Did we trade NVIDIA too? No, we didn't. Okay, so we only have 119, so I have a little ways to go. I had to check just to see, but I'm getting short on time here, so. Just to see, trading the 50 shares is, I'm thinking I want to go into half my position because I would have made the money already. I'm trying to stick to something I'm telling you guys to do, though. I mean, look, you take your own trades, as you know, but wow, I missed that drop off, so I'm glad I didn't go long. Short bias, guys, yeah, short biased. Can we get a movement up and then go short again? This could drop all day. Tesla's a weird stock. A whole nother animal. Going up to the 334, which is way past just a second ago. It was all the way up. It was stalling at 335. So we're a whole dollar off that level. There's the low of day, and there's your ATR low right there on the RV strategy. So we need this to retrace up a bit, or it's dangerous. Wow, it's definitely showing it's going down. So I'm going to look for a little bit of a pop and try to ride it short. It's just dropping. Again, you're chasing a falling knife here. You got to be careful. All right. I'll give it a shot. Okay, pick me up. Let's try to get a little bigger move down if we can. This will be the time it chooses to go straight back up. As you can see. I had like a small profit, and I was trying to get to our minimum there. Thinking about going into half my position as it starts to head back my way. Thinking about it, not doing it, just thinking about it. Definitely forced this trade. I shouldn't have done it. I was getting impatient. That fib going to turn it around. Broke to 335, went up. I mean, we're not talking big money here, but it's more like a contest, so we want to get it right. 50 shares. Wow. So it's definitely hurting me now. 80. Going to make me work to get my money today, get to 500 later, if it doesn't turn around soon. I wouldn't think about adding till it gets on its way down below 335, then I might go in half, but this is not the time. I hope this stalls it here. At least the 336 doesn't blow through that. Now I'll have to sell the bid if it drops to get into it. It's hurting me now. It's taking away all my profits from all my trades. I'm still fairly confident it's going to go back down. Short bias, so I'm not too overly worried yet, but every time it keeps chipping upward, slightly concerned. Make sure you keep to your max loss, guys. You just okay, so it's fading a little bit. Level 2 showing a turnaround. Could just be brief though. Plus it's holding me hostage for this very slow climb. Looking for it to break to 335 to go into half my position. That's close enough. I'm going to go ahead and get in there. So I'm at 34.55 with 100 shares now. Hoping that the fib isn't going to stop it. We're looking for a retracement. Give it a minute. Or a fall back off, a dip, whatever you want to call it. Full position would be 200 shares. Thinking about it a little bit, but just be patient, guys. Obviously, mind your max loss, but be patient. Momentum's driving it down. That's what that brown arrow is. That's another way to read your level 2. If you didn't pick up that level 2 indicator I custom just did, that's pretty handy too. Now I could just get out with a paper cut here, but I'm still trying to get a good trade here. But that is not a good sign. Yeah, it hit the fib, and that when I saw that pattern, I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Yep, I saw that coming. Don't tell all the 5-minute people that you want to turn around. We want this candle to be below that candle. Then when the 5-minute people jump in, they'll jump in short rather than long. That's right at this mark here. Your spread's up to 10 cents, so you definitely want to buy the bid. So I'm going to hold that for a bigger move down. I'll take that. Did it get me? Didn't get me. Swale down. There's a swale down. Boom. Come on. That's twice now. It should have picked me up. There you go. Okay. So I do believe we made the 150. And hopefully you guys were able to wait out that move, because it is still going down. So it hasn't been hit as low. But now I did think about it, just so you know, I'm kind of doing my analysis now. As we broke down through this fib, as I was at 35.50. No, was it 34.55? Yeah, 34.55, right? As we broke down, I thought about going full position here, because then when I got out, it would have been double that at least. So I didn't do it. I didn't want you guys to do it for sure. It was just not it was not as foolproof as I thought. But you know, again, the 5-minute. This is going to. I'm not going to take another trade, because I'm going to head on to the next trading session. But my thought would be, yeah. So the 5-minute people are going to jump in, because this dropped below here, so this is going to keep going down a little bit longer. I wish I would have said that quicker for you guys, but you know, this is going to go down a bit. You already got your move if you jumped in right as it crossed over, because they saw red over here on the 5-minute. So everything's going down. It looks like an easy way to make money here on this stock, but as you trade it throughout the day, just be careful watching it. Okay, guys, I'm going to get this video out besides just being on the stream. And I hope you're following along and doing good. So, yeah, we will be slowly changing the strategy into something a little different. But I hope it's been working pretty well for you so far. Okay, so always stay inquisitive, guys, and go green out there. And I'll see you tomorrow.